Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT Trading Floor Edition. Let me go ahead and let everybody. I thought I actually hit send on this thing, letting everybody know that I am online. Let me go ahead and send that off to my peoples over at the community. My bad. For those that probably chime in a little bit later. Boom, there it goes. All right, so yeah, today's it's interesting. I was surprised. So the news drops, right? And when the news dropped, I was thinking that the CPI was kind of setting up for the jobs report, and we did something very funky. We actually pushed back up when I thought we was going to go ahead and drop, but that's why I don't really hold a lot of positions when it comes down to these news. I have a longer term play that I have that I'm holding, but other than that, this was just not the time for you to just play and pick a side. Like it was really a crapshoot out of all times this week. Let me go put that out away. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart, and you will see. Actually, let me come down to. Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the party. We'll come down to here. You'll see. Let me get rid of all these drawings. You'll see, like we had nice consolidation, kind of like a drift. We got a diamond pattern that kind of happened yesterday, which was kind of like it made me think that we were just extra neutral. But let me go ahead and grab my FX book for y'all. This does not seem very bullish for the market, which would be bearish for the dollar, right? We did get this one, but this is low impact versus this. So jobless claims, everything is very bearish, bullish for the dollar, which should put some pressure on the market. So are we going to be detached away from the market like we had a couple of days that was kind of like that, where it seemed like the British pound was dropping, the dollar was dropping, and they were kind of running in sync, which is not normal. So let's go ahead and look at all of them and see if we can make some sense of it. So we already covered the NASDAQ. Let's go ahead and go over to oil, and you'll see on oil, I was going to play this on a little bit of a bounce. Hold on, let me get my order block right. All right, this is on the 1 hour. I was going to play it on this order block bounce, but unfortunately that order block did not hold, and we're actually playing under it. So could this be a rejection area for more downside on oil? That is a strong possibility. So look for a rejection of the 50, maybe retest the 200, but we're kind of going in and out of the 200 and the 50 EMA. So a break above 78.20, we'll probably start going in and attack that $80 level. That's what I was looking to do on this one. A nice low bounce, continuation, hit that 80, and then we kind of like really take off. So we'll see what happens there. The next one is gold. Everybody loves gold. The whole world loves gold. But this is what I was explaining a while back, is that I'm not saying I want gold to drop, but unfortunately there is a little bit of an objective down here in the bottom. We got to go ahead and try to fill that area. I think we're probably going to start to push into this block, maybe get down into here. Look for a more choppier day on gold, because we got this nice little order block that we kind of formed here, from here to here, kind of. And it looks like we're going to have some real tough time. But if we can get past here, we can fill this fair value gap. And the moment that we fill this level, I would say be bearish under here. And then we could probably have a target around 2,400. So let's just keep an eye on that. Now, silver, on the other hand, it looks like it's trying to push up a little bit more than I really feel comfortable with. I want to see this kind of reject and get the rest of the measure move. I'm still looking for that 25.30, and you can see that on the chart. That's the full of this M pattern. It's still kind of in play. It just looks very ugly right now. So I got these downward trend lines. If it gets back to this trend line, I think we could get a nice low rejection. I think there's some sellers waiting in this area, but we just take the chart that they present to us. We don't make anything complicated. All right, let's go over the British pound. I know I'm speeding through, but there's some things I want to cover on the dollar. And you can see market is relatively down. And then now we're trying to push back up, but then we just pushed up. Let me go over to the 1 hour, right? We just pushed up and the British pound just dropped. So we're doing that detachment thing again. And I'm very, very curious, and I'm going to break that down even further when we get over to the dollar. Let's go ahead and get to natural gas. Natural gas looks like this. Again, I am not looking at natural gas to be that upside. Nice little rejection up in this area, and that's what I was kind of warning y'all yesterday. If you did play natural gas, we got a nice little rejection at that 2.265. Let's see if we can get some continuation and play this to the downside. There is a little bit of a micro trend with this one right here after we kind of re-angled ourselves a bit. So I'm looking for this to kind of be a breakdown, and then we're probably going to be breaking under the 50% of this range here. So that's probably what I'll be keeping an eye out for. All right, let's go over to the Russell. The Russell is looking like this, and this was that upward trend line potential. Now, look, I didn't make anything real spectacular or anything. It's not a magic trick or anything. I love trend lines. Some people like EMAs. I do both. I got my 50 and my 200. I love them on higher time frame. But if we remember, I built this potential uptrend on just these 2 points itself. We're low on the stochastic. We're starting to reverse, and we could continue on a trajectory. What's our trajectory? All you need is 2 points for a trend. So these 2 points, and where did we stop yesterday? We stopped right here on the dime, and then we just reversed that whole entire time. From the open. We reversed right from that point. Now, yesterday's price action, we did turn into a hammer. This could have easily been a drop and just continue to that downside, but you could see yesterday's price action going into the oh my god, I keep saying yesterday. Basically last night's price action when the Asian opened, we opened at this level, we kind of pushed down, couldn't break that potential uptrend, and now we are here and probably going to attack that fair value gap to that upside. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the most important thing, which is the dollar. The dollar, it looks like this. Wait a minute, hold on. How does this look like this and this look like that? Is there an objective up here on the NQ that they're looking for, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to go after? Are we breaking above the 50? Is there sellers sitting here, or inside this fair value gap? How is the dollar pushing up and the NQ is pushing up? That's the thing that I want y'all to think about when you go into the market today. I want y'all to be very cognizant to it, not to be too cautious, because I think there's going to be loads of opportunity. There's a lot of people that probably sat out of the market for PPI, CPI, and now the jobs report. Tomorrow is Michigan sentiment, so it can get a little choppy, but I think a lot of that news is going to start to bake in around today. So just be very, very aware of what the market is doing. Yesterday, we kind of took a little bit of a hit on the compounding account, and let me go ahead and go back to my chart. That 15-minute orb was a very tricky yesterday. I want to kind of cover this on yesterday. Where are we? Right here, right? So we kind of like broke down, but it was like a choppy down, and then when we got to this level, it started to like really propel up. For my Qs players, if you go back to the video, I did say with the puts, I was looking at, with the calls, I was looking at 460, and then the other one was like 450, and we got to like 458 on the put side, and we got to the 460 yesterday. I did play a good chunk of this, kind of recoup some of my money, but overall, this was like one of those orb breakouts, and then they kind of flipped it and went right back the opposite way. So it was very rangy. So if anything, you could kind of call it this range. But for those that are a little bit more advanced, we could call this our diamond pattern, which kind of looks like this, kind of look like that, kind of look like this, and then kind of look like that, right? And what this is telling us, that there was a lot of volume that kind of came into the market, right? Good morning, welcome to the party. There was a lot of volume that came into the market, and there was some liquidation that happened in here. So what I'm expecting to a certain degree, and we got a lot of this move, and I think that's why we pushed in this direction, because it kind of stayed a little bit bullish, was that this move was the breakout here, and that's why we're starting to hit that top right there. That's the measured move of a diamond pattern. So when you get those large accumulations, and it feels like everybody kind of like just made this big range. We're making higher highs and lower lows at the same time. It's possible that we're making a diamond pattern, and that one kind of played out overnight. All right, so we got ourselves 3 minutes into the market opens. Let's go ahead and clear this chart, get that out the way. We got some fair value gaps that's on this 15-minute that I just feel like needs to be addressed. I kind of played this morning trying to get into here, thinking it was going to reverse before the market opened. I could have a nice little cushion before, especially with the news being so spicy. But yeah, we're holding up. We're holding up. They're probably waiting for Michigan sentiment. Oh, look at that nice little push. So we got like something like this, and we're breaking out. We got another fair value gap. Let me go ahead and grab this bad boy here. We got one that kind of starts here, and I would love to capture that. That would be a lot of fun in itself. All right, so let's go ahead and get myself completely logged in. And if there's any tickers that you want me to look at, by all means, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. You know, hey, good morning, good morning. How you doing, my neighbors? All right, get that in. Let me go ahead and get this one going while, I don't know, Thinkorswim, if y'all watching this by any chance, I would love for y'all to beef up that server for Thinkorswim desktop. Because sometimes it just takes so long to log in. Because there's like updates and all that, and it uses so much resources. It's like Power E-Trade kind of is like my go-to sometimes. All right, that one's done. There's my other one. Where did I put it? I know I have it here. Oh, there it is. Right there. All right. We got ourselves less than 14 seconds to the market opens. Good luck, everybody. Make sure you logged in, and make sure you got your setup with our boring routine right now. I'm going to take the ones that makes the sense. One of my alerts just went off. I'll look at that later. Oh, we'll check out JPM. I was looking for JPM to possibly break out. Oh, we could not make a higher high. I guess they couldn't recapture that. We'll see what happens there. Oh, and shout out to the community members that probably jumped into AVGO. Let me go ahead and set this up on my P&L. AVGO is up. It's a little going to be a little crazy going this way, but the chart looked good, so we'll see what happens with that one a little bit later. So we got ourselves a nice little open. I'm going to go ahead and lock down this bottom part here. Let's see if we hold this as an area. No, not bullish, bearish. This is going to be bearish. That's going to be our bearish line. Right now, our bullish line is probably going to be somewhere around here. And we'll just give it 15 minutes and see what our opening range is going to be. Let's go check out JPM while we wait for this. So this is JPM. I was looking at JP. Oh, it gapped. Oh, I hate when they gap. I gotta start looking at stocks like this. I think I'm gonna give up on the daily, because being a futures trader, I'm looking for just clean continuation. Those gaps just like annoy the crap out of me, because I'm always thinking it's gonna fill the gap. Yeah, I was thinking that if we get into here, there is a potential for a reversal of this whole entire move. What does that mean, Jeff? All right, so, well, we got ourselves a nice little drop down, right? So there has to be retracement. Here's our retracement. So we tried to hold down the 50% in the 618, our little golden zone here. Did not happen. And then we got the 618 test. Did not happen either, because they went ahead and gapped it up, and they tried to get back under the 618, and it's like, nah, we're going to buy the dip again. And we're still getting more buy the dips. Right now, we're above the 786. which is almost a complete reversal of everything. So I'm thinking a lot of these buyers from here, here, and here are probably still in their position, and we're probably going to be riding a very long trend line that kind of looks like not this one, not this one, maybe not this. So probably something along the lines of these touches, and probably continue to that upside. We got a couple of levels here. Of course, the high, which is at 217, and then this one right here is going to be a tough little area. So let's go box these areas out. So I'm thinking from here to here is going to be a little bit of a problem child. So it's not probably the best time for you to go in now, but if you could get yourself a nice little support, good contract, it doesn't break this upward trend line, we're probably going to take JPM up to that upside, and I'm probably going to look at this on the 1 hour, because the 1 hour, yep, the 1 hour is pointing up. I would love for it to kind of like give me some type of consolidation so I can go ahead and ride this out. All right, anyways, let me go to the NQ, see what's going on with that. Oh, look at that. They did kind of take that out a little bit. Nice little spike up. We made another lower low, so we're going to go ahead and see what happens with that. Oh, wait a minute. No. No. Say it ain't so. When did this happen? Oh, this was... Hopefully I don't have my... No, I don't think I have any adjustments or anything. Is that actually there? Looks like we got ourselves... Yeah, we do. We have an objective down here that I want to see gets handled. Oh yeah. Let's see what happens there. We got bearish momentum going into bullish momentum, and that news just kicked it right on up. Let me come down to the 1 minute and make sure I see what I think I see. Yeah. I think we, when they finally find their upside objective, we may come down and rebalance around 19168. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're gonna be patient. We're not gonna rush it or anything like that. Let's go back to the 15 minute. Just look out for 19168. My NQ traders out there. Oh, the little one. What's up? Read Danny the Dinosaur. Danny the Dinosaur. Yes, Danny the Dinosaur. Thank you, sir. All right. Still looks real bullish here. Let me go check out the 1 hour. 1 hour look like party just started. 2 hour. Ooh, 2 hour looks really, really good with this stochastic. If we could get ourselves across, we're probably going to get another ride up to that upside. 4 hour. 4 hour is a holding pattern. Very divergency-y a little bit, just a little bit. Bearish divergence. We've been making lower ranges here, but we just keep on making higher on the histogram. The oscillators is making higher, so a nice little retest would be good to kind of balance everything, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's come over to the 15 minute again. Yeah, it looks good. Actually, my AVGO just went up just a little bit more. We got to like 23. So, what we got? We got like about 9 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and think of what could be an area that we would be targeting if we were to play this to the upside. We got a fair value gap fill. I would love to kind of get to that 19,500. That would be a nice little spot. That's what kind of started that M pattern with that drop off on Thursday, Friday was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. Yeah, Thursday, Friday. Oh no, week before. So that could be a nice little spot for us to kind of play that down. Let's see. Yeah, that one. Or if you wanted to be very aggressive and try to milk it a little bit more, maybe 19,690. All right, so let's go ahead and take a peek of what that would look like. And he chooses to read Danny the Dinosaur right by my door. All right, so let's see. We're talking about 19,505. Uh, 470 calls? What the 470 calls look like? Let's see how that looks for today. 470, 470. Oh, that's right there at the doorsteps. A little pricey right now. And we're already starting to break out too, so that premium probably juiced. 19,690. 475. 475 a little good. 473 a little bit better. 474. So no less than 473 as soon as we get our opening range breakout. And if it does just reverse and completely fails, I would love for it to go to the 50 EMA. 50 EMA would bring us down to this level here around 19. Let's just call it 19,000. So 19. Probably like 460 puts. 460 puts. A little bit more conservative on the bottom side of where that gap is. 19,168. Yeah, 461 puts for 74 calls. 471, 474, 471. Actually, I did that wrong. 461, I said, right? 461. Okay. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. All right, 461 puts. Let me go log that in. Ooh, I could. It's just so cheap right now. Let me log this in. I guess people have doubts about it coming back down. I don't blame them, but we stay prepared. That's the goal here. We stay prepared. All right. Boom, boom, boom. I saved both sides of it. Let's go on this one. Same thing. We'll go with that one. 462 is what I kind of am looking at. And 174. Now, I'm not saying it's going to hit any of these levels. If you don't know how to trade options, I am not no fiduciary. I am not no financial advisor. Just be conscious and cognizant of your position and just make the most sound decision in itself. Let's go ahead and come back to the 15-minute. Let's see what it looks like so far. Yeah, this thing is breaking into that 4-hour fair value gap with some strength. I almost want to get in early, but it's just gotta stick with the rules. Gotta stick with the rules. So we got a new high here. We'll see how that kind of pans out when it's all said and done. All right. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens there. Oh, also, just to kind of give y'all a little bit, I do have my class that's coming in August 26th. Link is inside the description. It's going to be a Become a Profitable Trader Challenge, right? We're going to try to challenge you. We're going to look at everything from your trading plan all the way from the ground up. We're going to stick with fundamentals. We're going to really understand what a trend is. You already been in some of my classes or watch some of my YouTube. Get psyched. We're going to do some mindset a little bit. What is a doji and understand the information that it's telling you. Pattern optimization, just knowing what a W is a W and how to treat a W is two different things. And then we're going to do some practice trading together. So go ahead, sign up. The link is inside the description. All right, enough with the plug. Let's get that out the way. Okay, still inside of that range. You got 3 minutes until that's done. So let's go ahead and check a couple of things out. I was looking at Walmart. And I was thinking that Walmart was just going to go ahead and just dump. If we look at it from the daily perspective, it looks like this. And it just looked like it was trying to build its way down to that downside. And it just went ahead and did that. So since it did like a bull flag breakout type of situation, solid earnings, they met on both sides. I think that's why it's kind of up there. This could be a really, really good IV flush play for my IV flushers out there. So just keep an eye out for Walmart. Probably get some opportunity, especially that it shot up so much. We're talking about $6 move. That's deep. That's deep. Another thing that I was looking at. Let me go over to my red list. I was looking at Pan W, and I was a little bit mad about Pan W. I'm not gonna lie. I know there's some recovery that's happening because everything that happened with not dated CrowdStrike, everything that happened with CrowdStrike, all the cybersecurity stocks got beat up. Pan W got beat up. Datadog got beat up. Everybody got beat up. But I always felt like Pan W was the stronger out of all of them, and it did do a recovery. I did not look at the ticker any further because it was like it's in the tech space. Tech dropped so hard last week Monday. It was just kind of hard to actually really take that trade. But this one is looking really good. If it can hold a support here with the MACD coming across that daily, we probably could get some more opportunity to fill that gap and maybe even get to this high around 380. So this is the one that really is in my watch list, and I'm really going to keep an eye out for that one. All right, back to NQ. Let's go back to the party. Here's NQ. So 15-minute orb is almost done. So the one rule that I have is that we wait for a 5-minute candle to close above it, and we just ride in that direction and wherever the market takes us. Just one simple setup in itself. See how that works out. Yeah, that MACD is really strong. I think I want to see it close above like 375 or so that way it can really feel like we're holding that that fair value gap, filling that whole fair value gap up to 505. So we're talking about like maybe another 100 points or so. All right, let me go ahead and get my other chart. That way I can go ahead and possibly trade this on futures just in case. All right. Put you over here and put you over there. All right, that looks good. All right, so here we are. We got it in. That is our levels. Let's see what the 5-minute holds for us. Still looks like a bull flag breakout. Get rid of this trend line. I don't need that anymore. The 5-minute does look a little weak. It's pointing down and everything. I want to see a nice little close above here. Maybe they need a retest back down here to this lower part, reset, and then come back up, but we'll see. One step at a time. If this is your first time in one of my live floors, I usually end this somewhere around the ballpark of 10:15, 10:30. That way you can get into lunch and then later on trade on your own. But I just want to do the openings with y'all. Yeah, that 400 level is what they're trying to recapture, but I think you're gonna need some oomph to get up there. Kind of detached away from the 50 EMA, nice and strong. But we kind of got a divergence here, right? We're making higher highs, higher lows. Yeah. Higher highs here, but we're making lower highs here. But there's a bit of a divergence here. That's what I'm thinking. We're probably going to come down. There's our down. I do not play inside of ranges. If you are comfortable with that, by all means, that divergence could have been a nice little signal to play it down until it resets. But I do feel like they're going to try to get back into that fair value gap. We got about 3 minutes. So let's go check out oil, see what's going on over there. They're trying to go back into that order block. We had a nice little push up again. They got out of it, got a rejection. So I would say something of a trend inside of oil here. If we could get a nice little start of a trend inside the block, probably could get a nice little pop up, and that's the one that we're probably going to look for. This whole entire thing could be screaming out sweep and using the 200 EMA as a support, and you could kind of see that right there. So this could be a cool down so we can get in there. And then gold. Yeah, gold is trying. They're trying their best to hold it up. They do not want to get back into this area here. Let me see. Is there any imbalances here? We already cleared those. This one didn't clear, so we probably could come back down inside of this block here. And then this one is this is probably going to be the end all be all. Because if we get through this one, there's a strong possibility we're going to get inside of here. All right, let's get back to NQ. Come on, NQ. Let's go. All right. Here's our 5-minute candle. We got about 2 minutes. Looking good for upside. So let me go ahead and get my upside modified. There we go. There we go. For this trade here, I'm going to do scaling instead. Yeah, let's start. Start with this. I'm gonna scale into it. Say, and instead of just going with the full Monty, because it seems like lately we've been in this very, choppy up. They pulling it back as soon as we break out of it. So I'm gonna try to minimize my exposure a little bit and see where it goes. But you can see we smacked right against the 400, and then they smacked it right back down. I need a close above this level, so that way I can go ahead and take that. We have 45 seconds. My Palo Alto is doing that. Got 28 seconds. I wait the whole thing because it'd be just my luck. I'm thinking, oh, it's going to close. It's only a few seconds, and then out of nowhere it doesn't close above it. That's the stuff that gets you gets you in trouble sometimes. It needs to be above 95. Make sure that's the high. That high was 96. All right, so we got a nice little close here. Don't be difficult. Be a nice one. Be a nice order opening range. All right, I'm gonna send that out. Oh Lord, I saved it in the wrong account. Great. That was a blooper. Great. That one is not there. 474s. That was a good entry. I can't remember. I want to say it was that. See what happens. Because if we could get the rest of the fair value gap on the 4 hour, this thing will print all the way to like about 500 with ease. And that's what I'm kind of banking on. Yeah, you see what I meant with that pullback? Like it's been lately they've been pulling it back when it starts to really break out of the range. Probably going to retest that 400. Again, this is a larger move, so you know there will be pullbacks for this larger move. I think the real resistance we're probably going to get is more at that 432. So probably the next part of considering adding or whatever the case may be about there. But we'll see. We take the chart that they give us. We don't make the charts. Strength. And then what I would love to do when it gets up into this area, which I'm gonna have to prepare myself before I forget. Is for it to be very impactful and it just kind of like really just blows past, so that way I can feel confident on the entry. But so far so good. It's just doing its thing, letting this 5 minute close out. That's the other part I'm working on myself, staying in trades for the full 5 minutes. Ugh, it's not as easy as it sounds, especially when we get pullbacks, and sometimes the pullbacks are like real violent, and since this is a really larger time frame type of trade, um, they can be very very tough. And besides, I already told y'all that everything looks very what was it, bullish for the dollar. So the dollar is actually doing its thing. What if it just flats out detach right then and there? So that's why I'm looking at this level as a place that I want to kind of see. All right, new 5 minute candles coming in. And so far, it's like it wants to make. Oh, hold on. So far, it looks like it wants to continue to make highs with the 5 minute. It's taking its sweet baby time. That's why I was saying that area was going to be a toughie. I thought with the impact that it just kind of came through it, I thought that was the one that was going to really put. Yeah, that's the push I was looking for, like that. So I was looking for a nice little push where that 5 minute just like really continues up. Looks like my AVGO is doing its job. It looks like my Qs is. I'm looking. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for, but you know what? Let me prepare for a plan in the event of. Because you gotta stay prepared. Gotta stay ready. You gotta stay ready. Trying to hold on to it for the rest of this 3 minutes and 19 seconds. It's showing challenges as it's getting through here. Um, just being a little tough, but just gonna be patient with it. Because if we can get this all the way to 505 without any hesitation, this thing should read out something really nice, and probably can even get it in the money, or at least closer to in the money. Come on. Don't make me sweat. Yeah, y'all know. If anybody knows me, I'm like a scalper at heart. So holding for 5 minutes is like me holding my breath underwater with shark infested waters. That's how it feels. It really does feel like that. But you know, you know what I'm saying. You ask for something, you got to be able to practice it. So the market's going to give you situations for you to be able to practice those things, and this is one of them. This is just one of them. Let's come over to the 15 minute. Let's see what's happening there. 15 minute looks really strong. I was going to look for other time frames. 1 hour kind of looks like this in itself. So it's trying to get up there. So we'll see if we can fill that. I wonder if there's a ticker that might be in the gap. If by all means, if you want to take a stab at it, let me know if there's a ticker that's in the Qs or in tech space that might be in its gap. Maybe that's why we're moving up like this. It'll be greatly appreciated. I think. Oh, we're at 35%. So when it comes down to it, you want to make sure that you hit your goals. So I am going to do a stop to 850. All right, that'll be that 50. So actually, what I am going to do is I'm gonna take it off the table. I'm at 45%. Actually, I'll probably just take out less, but let me just take as much money off the table that is mine. So that's a good trade there, and we're just gonna let the market run with some runners, just like that. All right, so we locked in about 200, maybe $300. Our goal each day is to try to make $100 a day. We had two really days in a row. So I would love for this thing to end up in the money. If it does end up in the money, probably going to get about 200, 300 extra dollars, give or take. So that's what I'm looking for. So now that I took some pressure off my chest by letting this letting it go, right? Now I can go ahead and just be at peace with the runners doing the rest of the work and letting the market just continue to ride out. All right, so let's go over to the 5 minute. I am not adding any more positions at this point. I'm at 470. I'm about 30 points away from my target. So this is starting to look really, 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 really good. I'm gonna prepare in the event of, because I do have a good chunk that's still exposed out there, and I'm gonna let some of it goes if this thing does something crazy. Oh, I like that. Come on, catch it, catch it, catch it. Come on, catch it, catch it. So what I'm looking for when I say catch it, I'm looking for them. Like this was a nice little impactful drop down, which took out a lot of more recent buyers in that regard. But I'm looking for new buyers. They were just looking for a better discount. So if we take, and this is going to be really, really fast, and we're going to try to do our best. Maybe they were looking for like a 50% retracement, but they couldn't get it there because they got it like a little bit before the 50%. So it looked like it's getting a 382. So I'm going to ask you this question. If you were looking for some brand new Gucci's or brand new Louis Vuittons, or give me something luxurious like a Birkin bag or whatever, wouldn't you want to get a 38% discount for something that you wanted? So we got a nice little run up. It's very attractive. They caught it. There's our catch. Nice little pullback, nice bounce. I almost closed it out. Since that one had a deep pullback, I am going to go ahead and take a little bit off just to kind of really secure. And we're like 20 points away from our target. So this was a really, really good orb. Listen, for those that, probably are new to trading, to this month, in my mindset, we're talking about doing the boring things, like being consistent at doing the boring things. For you to be profitable and be a consistent trader is not, getting the new bells and whistles and everything else, or this new indicator or this new strategy because such and such says this is the holy grail of strategies. Just find something that works for you. I like opening range. It might not work for you. Find something. Maybe you like crossovers. Maybe you like Fibonacci, whatever it is. But just always come in, take that strategy every time it presents itself. Let the number speak for itself. If it's over 50% successful, congratulations, you got yourself a profitable trade. All right. 482 is where they hit the brakes. I wonder why. Let's go ahead and look at why we could be hitting 482. Yeah, I took a good chunk off the board. I'll probably let this thing get very, 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 very close to break even. I'll take a little bit above break even on this one. Come on, 5 minute. Don't you dare not fill that whole fair value gap. Don't do that dance. So they're retesting the 5 minute fair value gap. They probably came back and picked up some more orders that's down here to help push it to get up to that upside. And again, we stay prepared. Let me go ahead and get this wrapped up. My AVGO is at 50%. Can you believe that? That looks really, really good. Come on, catch it. I want you to hold the 5 minute fair value. Oh, that's not cool. That's not cool. That is not cool. Stay prepared. All right, it went negative, but again, that was the runners. We let them do their job. I'm happy with the trade. That was a really, really good trade. Like I said, I tried to kind of let this thing kind of go into like 10-15. So I'm going to let this one ride out to 10-15 as well. They wanted it. They really tried. But the sellers was like, no, we're not having none of it. You take the market that's presented in front of you. Do not force it. Let's go ahead and see why we hit this level and hit a reverse. There's got to be some type of historical data. I know 10 o'clock is near. Oh, no, actually, we crossed over 10 o'clock. Okay, so this is very interesting. Normally we stay in that direction throughout 10 o'clock. Let's see if we can find a reason why this spot was a rejection point. Maybe there was a ticker that, they filled their gap. If you're watching this on replay, by all means, just maybe give me a little comment. Let me know what could have pulled back. Because this contract hit 50%, I might take that AVGO off the table, but it's all the way in September, so I might leave it alone too. So this could be a pullback for the orb. Let me actually look at this contract. Let me make sure. We're talking about this. This is like $80, right? I don't know. I think I want to keep it. If I had two contracts, I would have took one off the table as soon as we got 50%. That way, I wouldn't feel so crushed about it. That's the scalper in me kicking in. But yeah, back to the levels. So let's see. Is there a reason why this level? I didn't want to erase that far. All right. Let's come down to the one. 1029. It failed Morningstar. Come to the 5 minute. A bit of an order block, hence the reason why we kind of came to this level here. I want to see what that one looks like. Let me put a dash line on this one. Let's see what's going on there. And then I already did the 1 hour, so 15 minute. Not even. If we had closed the 15 minute, let me bring this all the way back. If we close that 15 minute up in that area, I think that's why that happened, and they really retested this fair value. We came so close, they might as well just fill the rest. Very interesting spot. So if we actually hold here, maybe start the trend, never make any lower lows here, this could be the lowest point, and then we start to reverse back up to that upside. So this one ends in like 17 minutes. I'm 7 minutes. If you want to keep an eye on that one. Histogram bearish divergence. That's still in impact. That's why I kind of felt like we'll get to 500. Maybe we just rejected because people was like, oh, look, just like me, right? Look, I got very close to that 500. I'm at like 80 to 90% of my target. Why am I going to stay here just for me to get liquidated? If it happened really, really fast, then of course you'll take your money off. But sometimes it's just good to just take green. All right. Let's go ahead and just do a quick recap of all the other indices before I get out of here. Hey, my goal, 300 there. Let's see what this account did. About 150, so about half of that. Yeah, so I'm good there. I'm good there. So let's go ahead. This is oil. Oil is not doing the trend inside the block, right? This is what I was kind of like concerned. We kind of popped up. We're looking for the trend. They try to hold it here. That got liquidated. More selling pressure. Let's see if this one holds. That would be a trend that looks very similar to this, because that would then turn around and protect this fair value gap, and they're using it as a intraday order block in itself. So we can see what happens with that. Gold. Oh, W for the win. If we could get a break above here on the 5 minute, let's make you solid. You can get yourself a nice little retracement. Maybe take out this fair value gap back to 2,500 for retest. Keep an eye on that one. Silver, you can kind of see aspects of that same W. They kind of walk hand in hand, but they have moments where they detach because obviously silver is cheaper. Let's go into British pound. British pound, it is trying to pop back up. Hold on, it should be in 15 minutes. Oh, they got a fair value gap here that they're trying to fill. A fair value gap that does not exist here. Very interesting. So could we have the British pound going to do its own thing while the market is doing another? Or did it finally attach to itself and it's dropping because the dollar is powering up? Because that's the dollar right there. The dollar is trying to find ways to continue that upside. Ooh, we about to get a golden cross right here on this 15 minute. Maybe some more downside. Again, I was really looking forward to get to that 505, fill that fair value gap, and then reject. But again, not fair value gaps have to fill. There might be still sellers that's just sitting there waiting because they're like, look, we're going to be going down. So that could be the reason why. So make sure you're following your plan and not trading your money. Okay. Russell, oof, it's going for its fair value gap, coming back down. And then lastly, natural gas, it's coming back to that level I told y'all about. I'm looking for another rejection, continue down, and then we could go ahead and start going to that gap. Whew. All right. I try to cover a whole. Actually, let me give y'all some more gems. Let's go with more gems. More gems. I got like 4 minutes anyway, so I might as well go ahead and give y'all some more. Let's talk about some of my bearish positions that I'm thinking about. Oh, look at Costco. I gotta go ahead and hit up my boy because we was just talking about Costco. I was like, it's got more opportunity, but I didn't want to be in it with news. I really feel like I should have took the opportunity. On one of my videos, I explained how Costco is sitting on top of a block, even though it was in a bearish part of my screeners. It did not mean that it was actually going to drop. It could have been bearish just for retracement, and that's exactly what it did. Looks like an upside down H. Look for more upside on Costco. Probably bear flag here on Microsoft. Trade Desk looks like it's trying to continue back to that upside. Royal Caribbean, I think they're going to consolidate. I don't think they're going to fill this. So I probably would be looking for a breakout like this to that upside. Yeah, especially with that bounce, because my bearish reasons was to play it to the 200 because that Friday we closed here. So maybe we get ourselves a nice little breakout here. AVGO, you already know why I'm in it. It's finished its last part here. This is why I'm really thinking about taking my money, because I saw 50%. I'm thinking if we break this trend, then we'll go ahead and get into some trend reversal, because we already broke this area and we're using it as support. Kind of told the community about that, why this pivot is so crucial. Nice gap up. I'm looking to see either if this pivot here or this pivot here can be tested. Then the AVGO will really print. I wish I had like 17 million contracts, but shoulda, coulda, woulda can be all over the place. I have to make a decision with what I have. I only have one contract. Strong possibility I'm gonna lock in this contract before the day is out. PanW just looks real pretty. Walmart, good earnings. Ivy Flush. Morgan Stanley, the financial sector. This is all going with that JPM. I'm thinking reversal. I think JPM is leading that part too. Let's go check out JPM real quick. Let's see, did it really? Oh, it's giving it back. And that's why I wanted to kind of see what the market's going to do with it. We might come back and test the 786 and then go back up again, but it will be very interesting where it is if it can kind of like consolidate above 210, 211. And the last one is Oracle. I did not want to be bearish on Oracle. It gave me Costco vibes. It was bearish, fell into my screener, filled some gaps, but it is a really good company. They do really good work. It just was one of the ones that I just did not want to short, but it still came up on my list. It's above the 50 EMA. We might get some continuation. We'll see what goes on from there. Is it all right? Give you a couple on my bull side. Here's my bulls list. Starbucks is still holding. I still think it's consolidating a little bit before it actually goes and attempts that gap. We've been on a death cross, so I think this was a good catalyst for investors to feel like, hey, finally, right? So if they did buy the dip, they're probably going to take some of the money off the table. And we do have dividends tomorrow, so I think today is the ex-dividend date, if I'm not mistaken. So they might start to take some money off the table. So if you are in Starbucks, keep that in mind. I'll give y'all a couple more. So JPM, I'm bullish for obvious reasons. I already did that. AbbVie, this is the competitor to Eli Lilly. All this Ozempic, weight loss drugs and all that stuff. This one is probably a good portfolio fit. It did hit my target roughly about $2. This was 2 weeks ago. So this was like about right here when it started to break out, and I was looking to the left. It looked like it was breaking out of that range. I did not take it because I think it was because it was all-time highs. Yeah, it was all-time highs. I didn't want to be the one holding the bag, so I was looking for a deeper pullback before we went to it, and it did not do it. So this one could be something that you might want to look into for scaling and everything else. I think that's it. That should be it. Expedia, I don't trust it. Travel is a little weak sauce. If we look at the chart from a weekly standpoint, it kind of looks like this. This looks like a big old consolidation. Does it look familiar? Remember this ticker over here? Yeah, it looks kind of like this, but instead of weekly, it looks like that on the daily. That's oil. So just look like big consolidation. Could get very choppy. It might just reverse on you real quick. So that's why I'm not really messing with Expedia, but it is on my bullish side. That said, thank you very much for chiming in, partying with me. We made some money today. We're going to do this again next week. We do this Tuesday through Thursday, 9:15 to about 10:15. If we're making more money, if there was another setup, which it's trying to set it up, I probably would have taken it. But right now, I am going to enjoy my day, take care of some other errands, and I wish you do the same thing. Go ahead and take care of yourself. That said, see y'all next week. And Mindset is on Saturday. I'll post the link inside of the description as well. You have a great day. Bye-bye.